All right. Good morning, everybody. Yes, it's still morning for me. It's only 11 a.m. Welcome. I hope everybody's having a good day so far today. It's Friday, Follies. And boy, do we got some follies going on. I got some questions in my mind that just won't go away. And I got some questions for some people that kind of won't filter away either. I'm kind of a little flabbergasted, honestly, at some of the things that I'm seeing up on X today. Um, I actually just opened it up a couple of minutes ago. I haven't had a chance to really go through much of anything because of taking care of puppies all morning and getting water pumped out of here and everything else. So it's for the first time in a few days, it's actually not raining for a few minutes. But that probably won't last long. Welcome to Oregon. It's just the things that we have to deal with here, weather-wise, as long as it's not natural. And it hasn't been natural weather here for quite some time. From what I gather, from living and working out here, it's. But yeah, it's something else. It's something else. It's something else. What can you do though? What can you do? It's thinking about all those people who say, that I'm just one person. What can I do? Well, if we had 330 million people who said, well, guess what? We're not alone anymore. Let's do something about this. Well, turns out that the state of New Hampshire they actually submitted legislation to make it illegal for them to spray anything, do any weather modifications, anything in New Hampshire. And I'd like to actually see the rest of the states follow suit. No chemtrails, no nothing. No, Annette, he actually got pulled down. He got taken down about halfway into his podcast last night. He got taken down. And he ended up finishing it up over on Rumble. So you can always check out his Rumble page to get the rest of that. Let's see. Okay, so I want to, we're going to start off with my X feed. It almost sounds like a disease, doesn't it? And this is why I'm gonna go here. Okay, and you'll get where I'm going here in a minute. Let me make this smaller so that my feed comes up a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I have to say, Gene Ho, brother, sure, you might be dropping a whole lot of truths out there, but I am very disappointed in George Magazine right now, and I probably will not continue my subscription. And that is one of the few magazines that I maintain a subscription with. Let me see if can I make this bigger? Can this get bigger? Yes, it can. Okay. Actually, I can drop my camera because let me get rid of my mini cam here and turn that camera off and save a little bit on bandwidth. So my my posts started with this one here this morning. Good Lion TV, puts out a lot of great content. Good Lion TV. If you don't know who they are, this group puts out some great stuff. And it's all factual, 100% verifiable truth. And I love the videos that they're putting together. The sheer amount of delusion followers that believe Phil's every lie is like a child that looks to their parents and believes they are God. I've never seen such stupidity and lack of discernment in a group of people before. The end is definitely going to shock them. And responding to, did anyone else happen to listen or notice at the 37 mark of the live last night, Phil was told to make local subs only in chat. And he says subs only. I'm like a rookie, but I'm really not a live streamer. And then under his breath, he said, I'm really a military intelligence agent. He then looks down off to his right, and the last loud is still cutting in and out. And he says, pretend I never said that. He just told everyone nothing is set off the cuff with Phil. So much for no intel. This is the thing. Q told us no outside comms. This guy is a fucking joke. Okay, I'm just saying it now. And George did a featured article with him. I am so disappointed that they did that. If they wanted to do a featured article, they should have talked to LT, or they should have talked to Sean from SGT, or they should have talked to Dave from X22, or they should have talked to Melissa Red Pill, or they should have talked to Clandestine, or even Dave Snedeker. Okay, this guy is a fucking joke, and George's credibility just went out the freaking window as far as I'm concerned. It's just I just can't do it. Catcher says, after I feed them, I couldn't find Monkey and Wiggles this morning. They never dug out ever. I finally found them outside the gate. I believe Wiggles might have been hit by a car. Oh no, that's not good. His leg is injured, maybe broken. I'm in a panic right now, going to drive to a clinic and see how bad it is. My heart is breaking. I have no idea how they got out. I'll keep you informed as the day goes on. Pray for my little buddy. We can do that, Cat Turd. We can do that. All right. Let's see. We're going to have a little buff from, I can't remember what this guy's name is. Does a lot of great content, though. Does a lot of great content. I'm having a hard time remembering people's names lately. It's just because there's so many that are just laying it out there and laying out a whole bunch of really awesome truths. So there we go.
What's going on, everybody? And now I'm about to talk about something that nobody seems to be going into detail about. What the hell was going on at the Jewish synagogue in New York, and why the hell did they have tunnels that look like dungeons with shit-stained and blood-stained mattresses being pulled out of there? Why were they not letting police go down there to the point where they literally fought with police? Why were police not arresting, beating, tasering like they would do with anybody else? And why the hell did the NYPD show up to the tunnels and try to fill them up with cement before people could go and investigate? Well, ladies and gentlemen, people like me have been warning you that Zionism and the Zionists that run that synagogue, and the Zionists that control the banks, and the Zionists that control the American government through finance, and the Zionists who are in charge of the Israeli genocide of Palestine, and the Zionists who are behind the LGBT agenda and the 75 genders, and the Zionists who are behind massive immigration into your country of third worlders, but not for their country. It's the Zionists who are behind every nasty thing that's going on in society today, including climate change. The Zionists are the ones who created the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization. They are the ones that own the pharmaceutical companies that created the mRNA vaccine and the COVID pandemic. Everything in society is going around them. And we know for a fact, thanks to Epstein and everything else, that child trafficking is the #1 black market organization in the world. Larger than guns, larger than drugs. Why? Because you can sell drugs and guns once. You can sell a 6-year-old little girl 30 times a day until you can't, and then you can cut her open, take her organs out while she's still alive, harvest her nice clean blood and her bone marrow, anything that's valuable for medical research. Surprise. And we know that these people control the highest levels of government, the highest levels of finance, the highest levels of law enforcement. How do we know? Well, nobody from Epstein's book has been arrested. JP Morgan Chase Bank had to pay out over $290 million in hush money so they wouldn't go to jail for facilitating international child trafficking transactions for years. Deutsche Bank in Germany had to pay $75 million for the same purpose. So these are the most powerful people in the world. And no one's asking why they're pulling blood and shit-stained mattresses from a network of dungeons underneath this Jewish synagogue in New York. And no one's asking why the police aren't really doing anything about it. And no one's asking how all of this has been going on for years and years and years without question. Well, it's pretty simple. People like Mayor Michael Bloomberg own that city. The NYPD is like his own little personal army. So if he says, hey guys, We got to protect the child sex traffickers and go fill up those dungeons with concrete before we get it to the world. What they're going to do, and that's exactly what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be the biggest story all over the world, and mainstream media is covering it only because that thing leaked. And what are they saying? Oh, they make it seem like it's just a normal everyday. Well, cops showed up to this Jewish synagogue, and all the people were fighting with the police, and they weren't letting the police down under. We don't know what's going on. Everything's so baffling. They love that word baffling whenever they're lying to your face. We know exactly what was going on. A giant child sex trafficking ring that's been going on for decades or even longer just got busted yet again. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Stop supporting Zionism, stop supporting genocide, stop supporting your own demise, and start thinking for yourselves. Chris signing out.
There we go. That's his name, Chris Guy. I knew his name. I just yeah. I gotta look here and see what wrench. Yeah, it's I'm trying to get this thing to come up. It's really hard for me to open up YouTube at the same time that I'm actually live because I don't know what it is, but here we go. We got you taken care of though, anytime. There you go. This thing gets really stupid on I gotta close that because it just like burns down my bandwidth big time. And I don't know what causes that, but you should be all set now. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. Here we go. Eagle Pass and Southern Border are not that far from me. Would it be worth my time to go get video and post it? I am now more than ever not inclined to trust almost any news outlet on this. I'd say go for it. Hell yeah. Yeah. Could this lead to court martial? Did he really have surgery or get hot over in Ukraine? So many questions. And he's talking about Lloyd Austin here, his hospitalization. Let's talk about this for a second. Lloyd Austin goes in and gets surgery done, and he does it while his second in command is on vacation for like a couple of weeks. Okay. Doesn't let his second in command know or anybody else know. It just goes in and does it. Tells me that there's something really fishy going on. And that basically it just totally leaves the United States. It leaves us wide open to many things, many things. Okay. So, there we go.
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
You gotta love it, right? Well, you ain't got to, but it'd be a good thing if you did. Not going to go into the medical side because we know that they're freaking out about that, especially with the WHO trying to pull their shenanigans and try and what is this? Let's see. I don't know what this guy's going to talk about, so I'm going to have my finger on the stop button just in case, because I just don't know what kind of content he's about to put out here. So here we go.
All over the planet. Some of them weren't even given a choice to even think about it. They were forced to get it. And every single.
Yep, I can tell you right now that he's already that he's talking about the jibber jabber walkie. Yep. What is the English translation of the Latin word "nic celo dio"? I have no idea. No clue. Okay, serendipity. what serendipity? Allie Carter, victim of child trafficking for elites. The public is asking for more info. Save this tweet is a full compilation of what I have. Don't look away. You've avoided for too long. Get uncomfortable. She was a child. She was a victim. When you claim the opposite, you are on the side of the pedophile child trafficking. I will not tolerate your ignorance anymore, Karma. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't get away with showing this stuff because, again, we will get pulled down. So we're just kind of have to go past that. This is in Saudi Arabia. What is this? We talk about the mud floods. Kind of looking that way to me. Looks kind of like a mix of ice and salt and water. Yeah, kind of weird looking. Yeah. How would you know? Let's see here.
You're copies of people out here in the world.
What?
Clones.
What?
Copies? What are you talking
Why?
about?
Some hag trophy wife needs new skin for a facelift, or one of them gets sick and they need a new part. They take it from you.
But I have a mother. I remember her.
Yeah, I know.
I grew up on a farm. I have a little dog, and I had a bike.
A bike. Right. It was a pink flexi flyer with little tassels on the handlebars, and you rode it up the street to your grandmother's house. You ring the little bell, and she came out and served you cookies on a hot plate.
Yeah.
No. Memory imprints. I seen him. A buddy of mine is a programmer at the Institute. He showed me. There's only like 12 stories. They change around little details.
It's, where, we have to ask ourselves, where are they trying to push the narrative? Where are, where are they pushing this narrative?
Details, but they're all pretty much the same. The life you think you had before the contamination, it never happened.
Well, if life before the contamination never happened, then we should all be good to go. You know what I'm saying? We should all be good to go. Our credit should be perfect and everything else because life before the contamination never happened. It was an illusion. All right. So our credit scores should be perfect, guys. Okay.
Come on, don't look at me like that. At least you had a bike. You want to trade your rosy memory implants for my shitty childhood? Be my guest.
How long? How long have we been alive?
You're Echo generation, so you're 3. Delta means you're 4.
3.
The whole reason you exist is because everyone wants to live forever. It's the new American dream.
Oh, and in many ways, it's kind of right. There are so many people out there who just really want to live forever. Really, really want to live forever, and some people will do anything in order to get there. Anything, and that includes destroying the lives of millions and millions of children. So we have to keep that in mind. So U.S. debt clock, Nikola Tesla, thorium. We talked about thorium a couple of weeks back. Thorium in its proper actuation is powerful enough to provide power to the entire world without any of this BS crap, that we're going through. So Let's see here. So Nikola Tesla knew the solution to unlimited and free energy. Why don't we have it now? Because the one that helped create the current monetary system, cough cough, J.P. Morgan, wanted to profit off humanity, ultimately enslaving us. We need to go to Idaho. Who is with me? It's Idaho is not the only place that has thorium, though.
Secret power source. The Lemhi Pass District, covering 11,425 acres, is America's thorium treasure trove. Back in the day, the U.S. had to choose between thorium and uranium. We opted for uranium, primarily because it could be weaponized, directing more funding and attention its way. But Lemhi Pass, with its 133,400 tons of thorium oxide, could power Idaho for over 10,000 years and the entire U.S. for 1,000 years. Meanwhile, China is pioneering a thorium reactor that doesn't need water for cooling, is inherently safer, and can solidify in disasters to limit damage. As China advances with thorium technology, the U.S. and Idaho adopt a wait-and-see approach. For now, Idaho leans on water for its electricity and agriculture. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So Idaho might have the solution for unlimited and free energy. Look right here on the secret window on the deck clock. Einstein knows it. He knew in the back of his mind, using Nikola Tesla's, that Nikola Tesla was able to harness energy from thorium, would be able to activate the material to give us unlimited and free energy. Imagine if the world did have free energy. It would be pretty beautiful, wouldn't you say? But some people call it crazy and it can't be done. As crazy as it sounds, even Einstein knew how smart Nikola Tesla really was. Now this begs the question, why didn't we use this back in the days, or why aren't we using it right now?
Tesla believed that technology used responsibly would benefit humanity, and if used selfishly would destroy our environment. In 1901, Tesla convinced J.P. Morgan to give him $150,000 for the construction of a radio tower. When he received the money, he built no radio tower. It was actually a giant wireless transmitter he called Wardenclyffe Tower. The tower was 187 feet to the top and also 120 feet deep into the earth. He wanted to build these towers all over Earth to supply endless electricity. He also believed that with this system, he could teleport and communicate with different planets. In 1904, J.P. Morgan realized what Tesla was trying to accomplish, and he defunded the project and had Wardenclyffe Tower demolished by 1917. Why was J.P. Morgan not on board with the idea of free power to the entire planet? Is it possible that just like Tesla, J.P. Morgan was influenced by advanced beings who knew that the steps Tesla took was to end the monetization of the human experience? In order to control humanity and profit off of mankind, Tesla had to be stopped.
So they destroyed this man's work because of greed, because of profit. This gentleman right here wanted to help the human civilization and not giving recognition to Nikola Tesla because they wanted profits. Instead, they opted for Thomas Edison, where they could actually charge for electricity because he was funded by J.P. Morgan Chase. If you haven't read this book, go read it. Who helped create these guys back in 1913, ultimately making them the 0.1% of all the money because they control it all. And the solution is to throw that sucker into a black hole and make our way over to Idaho using Nikola Tesla's idea so that we can go ahead and recreate our once forgotten world. Breaking the enslavement of the old kingdom so that we can go into our new kingdom. Know what you hold. Let's go.
I like this guy. I don't know if you guys do, but I like this guy. Puts out some really, really good. Stuff. Oh, cool. All right. Okay. They were just telling me my dog food was delivered. I was getting down to the last bag there, so that was good timing for the big dogs. Okay. Was scrolling around and found this gem. We need more students like him now more than ever. Anyone have an idea where this young man is now? I owe him a plate of barbecue with extra sides. Let's take a listen to see what this young man's got to say. You know, because sometimes it's the youth who teach us some of the biggest lessons that we need to learn, right? They, you know, yep. Let's see.
And teach them instead of handing them a freaking packet, yo. There's kids in here who don't learn like that. They need to learn face to face. You're just getting mad because I'm pointing out the obvious and you're choosing. No, I'm not wasting your time. I'm telling you what you need to do. You want kids to come into your class, you want them to get excited for this, you gotta come in here, you gotta make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you gotta touch his freaking heart. Can't expect a kid to change if all you do is just tell him. You gotta take this job serious. This is the future of this nation. And when you come in here, like you did last time, and make a statement about, oh, this is my paycheck, indeed it is. But this is my country's future and my education.
Can you go outside, please?
But there's a limit. When I'm not bitching, but simply making an observation.
Okay.
And now I will leave and teach them instead of
Oh, sorry. I forgot to hit my mic. Yeah. What's that? Fuck. Okay. Thank you, D. Okay. Yeah. That's honestly, that's the only kind of interruption I like to get. The kid, kids today, you think about it, they've got to get ready to go out into the workforce, when they graduate from school, whether they're going off to college or not or anything, basically, you think about it like this, from about the time that you're a sophomore, right? You're trying to get some kind of part-time job in order to make some extra money, to maybe you want to get a motorbike, maybe you want to get a skateboard, maybe you want to get a new computer to be able to do things. You look at all these different things that kids want to be able to provide for themselves, because, it's like, it's one thing, your parents buy you a bike, right? You'll trash it because they'll buy you a new one. But when you make the investment yourself and you work to earn that money, okay, you're going to treat that bike with a lot more respect, okay, because of the fact that, you earned it. And, these kids, they're not learning what they need to learn in order to get out into the workforce and be able to be successful. Okay. We're watching all these college kids having a cow because their inclusive educations that they're getting aren't helping them get into any companies. Yes, D, thank you very much. I said thank you. I didn't know if you heard me or not. Yeah, that's a couple of gas cans right there, and I appreciate that very much, especially seeing that I've since the rain has started, I'm going through an average of 20 5-gallon cans of gas a week right now to keep ourselves from drowning. I mean, and it's nuts. This is probably the worst rain year that I have seen in a long time. So yes, I appreciate that very much, more than I can possibly say. You I always tell people this too. It's, I could care less whether I got food, for me, and things for myself. As long as the dogs are taken care of and I have fuel to run the generator, I'll be here. And it's I won't starve to death. It's the idea that this is the way that I was pointed. And I still wonder. I often wonder myself, Lord, why did you pick me to do this? you know? But at other times, I just say thank you, Lord, for giving me this to do. Because if I wasn't doing this, I'd be going stir crazy on this farm. I really would. Not being able to produce anything right now, and everything, is makes for a very, very tough go. Thank you, Jody. It makes for a very, very tough go of it. It's the idea that that we put forth everything that we learn, and we share it, and what I have gotten back, and I'm not talking about on a financial side of this. I'm talking about on a spiritual sense and a motivating sense. I get a lot out of this. I do. And to see people growing and becoming more knowledgeable. It's great when a topic comes up and I watch you guys putting comments in, reflecting upon what we're talking about, and you're educating other people. It started with me doing the educating, and now it's turned into everybody being educators. Sure, it's on different levels and everything, but the fact of the matter is that everybody is contributing in this. Everybody is putting forth the effort to make sure that our friends, our neighbors, our family are learning so much. And that's exactly where we need to be. We learn something, then we pass it on, we share that, and when we do that, there is such a great coming together like we've never seen before. Sure, we've got some real shills out there, and sometimes we do focus on them in regards, like Bill Godslewski and everything else, it's but for the most part, it is all good, solid, intellectual information that needs to be done. We're learning, look at what we've learned about thorium over the last couple of months, what it's capable of doing for us, and knowing that, that we could, we could actually work ourselves into a free energy society, it's an incredible feat. It's an incredible feat, that all of us together, we're making steps moving forward together. And we'll see where it goes. Miss Mindersu, I've been kind of thinking the same thing, that maybe George is putting him out there to expose him. But at the same time, it's putting him on a pedestal that is, driving more people to him right now. And with everything that he's been doing between the Trump bucks and everything else, I've met, okay. And you know what I mean by met, because you've been to my farm yourself, Miss Minders. You've been here, you've been to my farm, you've met my dogs, you've seen my, what I do out here and everything else. And there's actually quite a few people that are in the chat that have actually made the trip out here to my farm. So they know I'm real. They know I'm real. They know who I am. They know where my heart is, and they you know, and they know what my, you know, what my purpose and my drive is. They see how I live, and let me tell you, it's this. I don't wish I don't wish this on anybody. I wouldn't even wish this on Phil Godzlewski. Okay. And there was a time in my life that I would have wished something like this would have happened to somebody in order to square them out. You know, and yeah, MS, yes, absolutely, yeah, they did. Yeah, we'll end up getting to that post here in just a few minutes. You know, but there was a time that, you know, there was a time in my life that I did wish harm on people, you know, because of what I was going through, what I was experiencing, and everything else. You know, I was an angry and vindictive, you know, and then I reestablished a relationship with Christ that that changed everything. You know, changed everything. And I don't wish those things anymore. You know, I don't think about that. You know, and you know, it's way too important for us to lift each other up. And just to let everybody know too, I did send Cash a message, you know, inviting him to pop on anytime he wants. And I actually sent him the link for today's podcast. If he wants to pop on, he's more than welcome to. I would absolutely love it, you know, because I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys right now if it wasn't for, you know, Dave, Cash, yeah, pretty much those two. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you guys right now if it wasn't for them. You know, I was doing, you know, I was doing videos and everything, but it was nothing like this. You know, I wasn't doing the truther thing. Well, actually I was, but it was, I focused on one topic, cannabis. That was it. That was the topic of my life at that time. But I expanded, and Cash actually helped me to not be intimidated by my opinion. Okay, because I you know, we hear everybody's opinions, and I was thinking, nobody wants to hear my opinion. Nobody wants to hear my opinion. Nobody wants to hear my perspective of this. Nobody wants to hear my perspective on the cue boards or on, you know, the political situations of today, or you know, what's going on in the medical industry and all that other stuff. And Cash kind of showed me, yeah, they do. They do want to hear, you know, because so many people, you know, keep their voices silent, and people don't benefit, you know, from, you know, don't benefit from silence. They benefit from people opening up and talking about things, talking about situations, talking about circumstances that we all live in, you know. And you know, I look at what's going on right now, you know, with me. You know, it's, you know, most of you know, I live in a 14 by 20 building with you know, I have, well, there's with 30 German Shepherds. How do you do it? I don't know. I don't know how I do it. I really don't. I know that this big bed that I have, or this rollaway bed that I got next to my desk here, when I roll it out at night, okay, and I set it up in the middle of the room here, I am completely surrounded by dogs. I cannot swing my feet off of the bed. If I have to go outside to go tinkle, I have to grab my slippers. Okay. I grab my slippers, and then I have to climb over any dogs standing on the bed. Okay. And I have to climb over the dogs, reach for the door, and I open the door, and I finally get to step down when my foot is out the door. Okay. And it's hilarious, you know. And I know when the dogs put up with me, you know. Ganja, love you, brother. As a matter of fact, hey Ganja, I got to tell you, we gotta set up a day where I have you come on panel again. because a lot of people are asking about what's going on over where you're at. And I kind of like to know too. So we need to maybe we can hook up on Pal Talk either today or tomorrow, and maybe set up a time when on a day off, and have you come on and let's do some tweaking on information wise of what's going on over there in the UK. All right, keep that in mind. So but living like this has what it's taught me. So I've been homeless before. I lived up in a place called Zigzag, which is at the base of Mount Hood. Because of the I got out of the VA, and then after that from OSHU, which is Oregon Science, and what is it? Dang nabbit. I think it's Oregon Science and Health University Hospital there in Portland, and I didn't really have any place to go, so I took and I was up in Zigzag for a time, and I was living in a tent. I had a dog out there with me, and we'd hike into town every day, I ended up starting a cannabis business while going through that. I was selling clones that I got to grow in somebody's 4x6 closet that they had in their basement, and I ended up building a business that took me from that tent to a, over a 7-year period onto a 30-acre farm. So you're only stuck if you believe that you're stuck. Okay. And I became unstuck, but at first I was destitute. I was blown away. I had friends that I could have gone to, but I didn't want to go to them because they had already done so much to help me, and I wasn't going to put myself in that position where I felt indebted to them again, and then I had some great people in my life before being homeless that I could have gone to them, and I would have had a bedroom and everything else. I didn't want to go that direction. And this what's going on now brings me right back to camping. So for basically since I had the power turned off, going on almost 3 years now, and running off of generators, I've been camping. Is basically what it is. The difference is I'm not in a tent. I'm in a shed building that I insulated and everything, and but it's like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. I'm not during the summertime. It's freaking awesome. It really is. It's awesome. During the spring, late spring, it's awesome. Early fall, it's awesome. But when it gets cold, it starts to get tough. Yeah. When winter hits, it's definitely tough because where I'm at, it's all rain. We, barely do we ever get snow in this part of Oregon. And when we do get it, it's there, maybe a day and a half, and then it's gone, but working with the dogs has been, no, we have no snow here. You guys got snow there. Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. So Pure Pressure, he's up in the Portland area. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of messages from people telling me that it's snowing up there. So yeah, stay safe on the roads and stuff. It's not because of how you drive, Doug. It's how 28 million illegal aliens who've never driven in the snow before drive. That's why I tell you to be safe. But it's like, you kind of go through this, and it alters you. It alters your mode of thinking. It alters how you perceive things, and it pushes you. It pushes you beyond your limit. It's like going to boot camp in the military. They take you in, they break you down. They push you beyond your possible limits, and then they build you back up. And that's basically what I feel like the Lord has been doing to me for the last couple of years. Is I've been in a spiritual boot camp. Solidifying my faith, solidifying my footing, and grounding here on this planet that we're temporarily at. You think about it like this, to the Lord, 1,000 years is but a day, or a day is as 1,000 years. So you think about, when Adam, it was that comment that was on yesterday. When Adam ate of the fruit, and you've already heard my opinion of what I think the fruit was. I don't think it was an apple or anything like that. It had to do with sex. It was the introduction of sin, and God said to him, surely you will die. Well, this is the thing. Adam lived to be 900, some odd years old, right? Okay. But you got to think of it like this. Adam might have been 900 and something years old, but the fact of the matter is if 1,000 years is as a day to the Lord, then Adam only lived a day. He only lived a day. And then he was gone. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's like, that's a spiritual check right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we all have our way of interpreting scripture, because it is for man to decide what path he's going to take, and the scriptures can guide us either in a right path or a wrong path based upon, what we think that message is saying. But the thing is that, the lessons that we experience, and that's what it is we need to experience these things. And there's a reason for it, because the work that you're going to do next is going to be based upon how you just lived. Okay. You can't hear the puppies back there? They're oh Lord, they're all driving me nuts. All right, well, let's get back to this. We don't need to talk about me here. Let's get back to this and see what we got here. Okay. So do I want to get into Jen Hayes? No, I don't. Real Ye is locked up in a dungeon. This is his replacement, and it is his handler. This is Kanye West dresses his wife in public. He controls her entire image and wardrobe and parades her near naked to attract as much attention as possible. Don't really care to look at that. So more things going on about the, you know what? We're not going to get into that conversation because it's definitely going to be one of those things to take it down. Let's take a look at this. And see, this is where Todd would come in handy. Todd and Cindy, Dave, pair, with looking at, things like this information in regards to, Tesla type of material, because I'm not like a big scientific mind or anything, unless we're talking about cannabis, then I can break it down for you. But everything else, not so much. Well, unless you want to talk about artillery rounds and the nomenclature of howitzers and things like that, we could get into that as well. But when it comes to this other stuff, like building these electronics and stuff like that, not so much. Not so much. Independent researchers have created electromagnetic motor based on Nikola Tesla's patented design. This is the real deal. Clean, free energy that elites should be developing, not investing billions of dollars to wage wars against humanity. Let's take a look.
I've got a bunch of solar panels. I built some of these and took some work programs for that. But yeah, I've got solar panels with a grid tie system. Is this eventually going to be offered in a kit form? This is. Yeah, you can buy right now. I'll sell you that one. What would that cost? Let's see. The first machine that they're yeah, it's just that. It's that. Yeah, I think it's just 3 layers. Yeah, I think those are like 4,000, 4,700. Yeah. So you're looking at probably 15 to 18,000. So what happens? It's just another longer shaft and. Okay.
Excuse me. What I would like to know is what exactly that could power. That would be the that would be the interesting conversation. Let's see. Dr. Keck says, do you believe there is a bloodline of Christ? Do you think Jesus had children? I don't know. Because our scriptures, with the Bibles that we have currently, doesn't really go into that type of speculation or anything like that. Why? Because they took so many things out of there that we would have no idea. New millions fill the street in Yemen as Houthi rebels promise revenge against the U.S. after 73 strikes hit Yemen regions, killing 5 people. The American-British enemy bears full responsibilities for its criminal aggression against our Yemeni people, and it will not go unanswered or unpunished. The Houthis promise to continue attacking large cargo ships in their support of Palestinians. Their attacks are having real impact, as Tesla recently announced they had to close their Germany factory due to delays. It didn't have to be this way. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of pissed off people. Yeah. It's and this is the thing is we've been picking on all these, we've been picking on all these countries for so long. These little countries, that are basically that have already been bombed into the Stone Age, and we could just continue to mess with them, continue to mess at them, and it's just wrong. It's just wrong, it's we're not going to get into the medical stuff. Let's see.
I just want to tell you that America is the greatest place on earth.
Yeah, don't want to get struck. Don't want to get struck for music. Okay. Let's see what Donald and the attorney have to say.
Good afternoon. Let's remember that before I walked into court, we had already lost. That was clear with his motion for summary judgment. Before witnesses, before experts, And do I think any of it mattered? I certainly hope so. But for anybody that was in the courtroom for the last 11 weeks, you heard that there was not one fact against President Trump. There was not one piece of paper that showed anyone committed fraud. And don't forget that Section 6312, a consumer fraud statute, has been wrongfully used against my client, innocent defendants, the organization, and every employee of the Trump organization, which has single-handedly changed the New York skyline, including the building we are in today. These are special properties. Real estate is an art, not a science. But you know what else is an art? You know what else isn't a science? Political motivated individuals. She's using this to paint a canvas that Donald Trump is a fraudster because they can't beat him in the polls. They can't beat him in the polls, so she ran on Trump because that was the only way she could win. And now today, after 11 weeks, after 3 years, we have concluded that he indeed committed no wrong. The Trump organization committed no wrong, and the kids have been dragged in just like the other defendants, and it is wrong. America needs to step up, and there's only one person who can do that. My client, Donald Trump. President Trump, everybody.
Oh, that's a puppy who learned how to escape yesterday and is really, really mad that can't escape again. Let's see. Hang on. Let's go here. Because I just heard that catch is live right now. Let's see. See. Come on. Let's see. Where are you, Cash? Oh, this is going like super slow. Oh, he's on YouTube. Yeah, I can't open YouTube while I'm on here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to play it later. I can't do it right now. Yeah, I'm not going to do YouTube. Sorry. It's just it's not going to work. Yeah, if he was up on Facebook, it'd be another story. But as I'm not going to try and do YouTube. Just too many problems that come from it. So, all right. So let's keep going here.
Bitch, you are you crazy? You're fucking paranoid, You are fucking.
I have no idea what the heck is going on there. Speaking of Nikki Haley, why wouldn't she use her real name? Okay, why wouldn't she use her real name? Why did she pick Nikki Haley? Why did she pick that name? Was there a particular reason for that? Maybe to sound more American? Because I'll tell you this right now, she's not an American. Okay, she's not. It's kind of it's kind of shocking to learn, but let's see if it comes up. This is her real name, Namarata Nikki Randhawa. That's her real name. I mean, if Vivek Ramaswamy can go out there with his name, how come this woman can't? You know, why can't she use her real name? You know, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, more things on the COVID. We're just not going to go there. Trader Joe is keeping a lot of secrets. Can't imagine why. I like this guy. Now, this guy's been putting out some great content. Okay. And I really like the way he breaks things down. So let's take a listen.
You guys know about the Trader Joe's mystery? Turns out Trader Joe's is keeping a lot of secrets. See, I spent all last year poking around in grocery stores figuring out what brands really own all the brands on our shelves. And it's mostly just giant mega corporations that own tons of different brands. And one of the requests I get most often is to go to Trader Joe's. And honestly, I've only been in Trader Joe's a few times. I pretty much avoid it like the plague. And today I found out why. And if you go to Trader Joe's frequently, bear with me for a second because I did not know what I was walking into. I figured their cereal aisle was a good place to start. It's where I started in the other grocery stores, and I looked and realized, like, wait a minute. Those are all Trader Joe's brand, except for Nature's Path and Panda Puffs, which is the GOAT, obviously, by that. But am I supposed to believe that Trader Joe's has factories making all these different kinds of cereal? And the more I walked around, the more I realized that every product in Trader Joe's is just Trader Joe's brand. Like, just about all of them. And so naturally, I had some questions. Turns out a lot of other people have asked the same questions. One guy who was like an advertising executive even went and got a job at Trader Joe's as a store clerk to try to get info from the inside, and he was unable to crack the case. But these journalists at Eater analyzed food recalls across 20 years of data and also compared ingredients between big brand products and Trader Joe's brand products to try to like correlate which brands are supplying Trader Joe's with all of their stuff. Because Trader Joe's keeps it locked down, like trade secret, like no other company in the world. Kind of makes you wonder why. They even filed Freedom of Information Act requests to get data so they could analyze it all. And although most of the brands that Trader Joe's is actually selling you are still secret, a couple of them have been figured out. Like Trader Joe's pistachios are actually wonderful pistachios. Trader Joe's smoothies are actually just Naked smoothie. They might change a few ingredients, but it's worth noting that Naked is just owned by PepsiCo. The pita chips are also just owned by PepsiCo. Animal crackers is a great example of how they take a product that looks like trash and then they make it look healthy and sell it to you. The journalists at Eater also did a taste test to see if people could tell the difference between the Trader Joe's brand and the ones that they suspected were the same. The lighter pinkish red bar is that people thought it tasted exactly the same or had no difference. And the darker red bar, these ones are the ones they thought were very different. It's all very wishy-washy, not an exact science. Some people speculate that their mac and cheese is actually Annie's, which is actually General Mills. You can search this stuff on the internet and you'll find all kinds of interesting speculation and people digging into it. Personally, I don't have time for that shit. Like, I don't care. It just all feels a little sketchy and slimy to me. Like, when you're buying Trader Joe's products, you're not supporting some like great small business brand or family-owned brand or anything. You're supporting this mega conglomerate chain brand, Trader Joe's, that has deals with all sorts of secret mega corporations that they're not telling you about. Trader Joe's itself was founded by a Californian guy, but it was bought by these dudes that run Aldi that are ex-German soldiers from World War II who are very secretive about their lives. In 1960, they split Aldi Nord and Aldi Süd into two different companies, and Trader Joe's is technically not the same as Aldi because of that split, but it's privately owned by the descendants of one of the two Aldi brothers. They're the Albrecht brothers. Aldi is the name of the store. And I mean, the one benefit is that at Trader Joe's, they sell all of these brands actually for cheaper because they can. And I've heard that Trader Joe's treats their employees well. I don't know, but it just is a little weird to me. I like to know who my money's supporting and who I'm doing business with, and this is the exact opposite of that. I've been avoiding doing Trader Joe's because I thought I was going to have to analyze all these tiny little like home brands and like all these crazy weird little small brands and organic brands, as opposed to big box stores where it's all like General Mills, General Mills, General Mills. But it turns out that it's all just mystery brands. And I did all of Trader Joe's in one go because there are no brands, because it's just secrets. The only brand that I found at Trader Joe's that I would choose to support was Nature's Path, because I know who they are and they're awesome. All the rest, like, that's probably just General Mills, and you will probably never know. So if you're a Trader Joe's fanatic, man, more power to you, do your thing. But just be aware that they're keeping secrets for a reason. And it's not because they're trying to keep secret how healthy their food is or how great their partnerships are. It's because they don't want you to know. You guys know about the Trader Joe's mystery?
Yeah. Well, we kind of knew that was going on. You know, we see that with like Fred Meyer's has their own brands. Same thing with Safeway, Super Stop and Shop, all of them. You know, it's they all, you know, it's always just a changing of one or two, things, and that's it. You know, so all right, okay. Freak alert. Libs of TikTok. Wait a second. What does it say? Trans activist explains his vaginoplasty surgery to kids on TikTok using food. Doctors do this surgery on minors. Oh boy. I'm not sure if we're ready for this one.
I am finally getting my banana split later this year. I talked to my surgeon on the phone, and this is how he's going to do it. Step one is, of course, to split the banana. Inside the banana, we find a small tube of red licorice. You know this tube. It's the one that transports caramel sauce and frosting. We're actually going to shorten this tube, and I will show you why later. Next up, we're going to move our way back to the ice cream bag that is holding the 2 maraschino cherries, and we're going to remove them. I already had mine removed last year, but if I hadn't, they'd be removed now. Next up, we're going to remove the innards from the banana so that it's basically just a hollow tube. Now that we have our tube, we need to flip it inside. The inside will be played by this butternut squash. As you can see, the tube of licorice that we cut is right here. You can see why we wanted it about this short. In order to flip our banana tube inside of the butternut squash, we must first make room in the butternut squash. So let's make some space. There we go. Finally, we can flip our banana tube inside of the butternut squash and let it heal. Healing can take up to a year, but really, I'll be on my feet after a few months. And yes, this is very messy, but it's also very worth it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. I apologize to all of you who are having lunch. This is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It says watch until the end. Okay, let's watch until the end. Here we go.
Are you recording this? What's going on? All the lights, the traffic lights is out too.
Oh my god.
Yo.
What is going on?
Yo, that's whoa.
What?
Yo, they about to bro. Are you recording this? What's going on? All the lights, the traffic lights is out too.
Oh my god.
Yo.
What is going on?
Yo, that's whoa.
What?
Yo, they about to
Don't know. You never know what's going on. Okay, so Steve Inman, I love this guy because he does this play-by-play like you're watching a boxing match or something like that on. And I just love how he puts these things together. Yeah, it's yeah, but the sky was light as heck, and then it went black. I have no idea. I wish there was more context to that video, but you know, when they make these shorts like that, you never really know what's going on. You know, so all right, here we go. Let's check out Steve Inman's latest video.
Once again, it's going down here at the 24-hour cafe. Ezel comes in with a freaking sucker bitch slap, and it looks like Fat Joe comes in with a slap of his own. Javier kisses the back of his hand. He gives him the taste of it. It's obvious his whole body snapped back like a human Pez dispenser. Let's take a look at the replay. He comes in with that sucker slap, whatever they're fighting over. Maybe $15 hamburgers. Still, to this day, nobody knows what this argument is over. Maybe it's over sleeping with each other's mamas. Who the hell knows? Discount Fat Joe starts things off with a little slap and a tap and tags Javi in, and Javi tags him with the back of his hand. And how delicious was that? Goes from Javier to Ric Flair while slapping the living taste out of Ezel's mouth. A little bit of a spinal adjustment on his way down. Now looking like a cheap whore on the floor. Once again, it's
sometimes I'm sorry, guys, but we need a laugh sometimes. You know, everything gets taken so dang serious, and every once in a while we gotta have something to laugh about, right? You know what I'm saying. Okay, the propaganda level in legacy. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Elon Musk. Propaganda level in legacy media has become tediously high, but also remarkable for how almost all legacy media repeat the same lies verbatim. Rabbit Hole says, if people in the media cannot decide whether they are in the business of reporting news or manufacturing propaganda, it is all the more important that the public understand that difference and choosing their news sources accordingly. And this is the thing, I said this before. I said, hey, you guys be nice. They're just puppies, all right? They just want some loving from you. That's all. Okay. You want to make babies, you're going to have to deal with them. You're going to have to learn how to teach them what to do and what not to do. Okay. All right. So, this is what I've always said about the news. I says, why is it that we don't have groups of people going to the news agencies and saying, listen, either you report the truth or shut down? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll go to factories that are striking and we'll do stuff. We'll go to Congress and we'll do stuff. We'll go to the Senate and do stuff. We'll go to our state capitals and do stuff. Why in the heck aren't we going to the news organizations and standing outside there saying either tell the truth or be shut down? It is the exact same thing with our government. I'm curious to know. You think about it. You get a couple of thousand people outside of a local radio station. I think that radio station is going to start changing its tune. Okay. You have a couple of, tens of thousands of people outside a TV station. I think that TV station might actually start telling the truth. You know what I mean? Hang on one second. I got something going on here. All right. Okay, guys, I need to end this. I need to end this for a couple of minutes. My generator's out of oil and the power is going to go off here in a second. So I need to end this real quick. I will be back we'll restart in 10 minutes. All right, guys, 10 minutes. All right. Yep. Yeah, it's 10 minutes. I'll be back. All right.